There we go. What up, y'all? Hey, man, I don't know what the hell's wrong with my my computer. Something, but every time I schedule a live and I go to click on it, it won't let me for some reason. I don't know what the deal is. Give it a minute. Man, I hate it keeps doing that shit. Stuff, whatever. What up, man? Like I said, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what's going on. I schedule these lives, and then when it comes time to get on, it either I don't know how to do it or it's not letting me. I don't. But I can reschedule a new one, and then boom, I'm right on it. So hopefully, I'll give it a second here, give some people some time to. Okay, we're starting. Y'all starting to find it. How y'all doing this evening? Everybody good? Okay, yeah, I scheduled it earlier today, but then when I went to get on it, it won't let me for some reason. I don't know. It does it every time. I don't know why. Um, is this the live that you was notified on, Wells? Shout out to Wells. Hope you're doing all right, man. What's up, Amanda? How you doing? Glad y'all here. You're not doing any. What's wrong? You sick? Man, man, I've been keeping up with stuff, y'all, and I hate to hear that, man. Amanda. Shout out to everybody that's on here. Amanda, Well. Uh, yeah, I struggle mentally too sometimes. I got anxiety bad, man. I mean, uh, I got. I mean, I just. Hey, Jonathan, how you doing, bro? But yeah, I struggle thinking about like the future and stuff. Like I don't really dwell on the past, but man, I trip out. Oh, I got this bill due. I got this coming up. I just start panicking, man. I don't know why. Um, I don't know why, but um, I know what it's like. I know for a long time, y'all, I was in a dark place after I got divorced. Um, man, I I didn't want to do nothing, man. Um, yeah, it's tough, man. People go through all kind of stuff, man. You don't. That's the thing, man. You don't never know what somebody's got going on in their life. Um, that's why I try to like even when I'm in a store or something. Hey, Stacy, how you? Thank you, hon. Man, you're a sweetheart. I appreciate that. But yeah, like if I'm in the store or something, I always try to talk to people, just even if I say hi, because you don't even never know what saying hi to somebody might do for them during their. What's up, Huskers? How you doing? Stacy, you been doing all right? I got a friend request today. You wouldn't even believe who I got a friend request from today, which leads me to believe that it's probably over for a minute. Yeah, yeah. I knew it. So listen, I know what that means. That means they split up for now. For right now, it'll change, and but um, oh, bro, you good, Jonathan? Don't worry about nothing. What's up, John Wick? How you doing, bro? Oh, man, but yeah, what I was talking about, man, I've been keeping up with stuff, y'all, and man, we're seriously like our country, we're in a bad place, man. I never thought I'd see it like this. I mean, we got a government shutdown, the EBT stuff, whatever's going on. Um, free speech is under attack. Um, you know, but I know what I was wanting to tell y'all. So they busted two women, the Alabama Department of Corrections investigators. They busted a white girl in Hoover. She had like 4 pounds of flocka, 200 grams of meth, all kind of shit. And then they busted another girl, I think in Bessemer, and man, she had nearly the same amounts of the same stuff. So for the DOC investigators to go and serve that warrant, then they was probably, it was some kind of contraband or something that somebody was getting. But anyway, they got them, man. Two chicks. They had some weight of several different things. They had meth, they had flocka, they had real marijuana. They had all kind of stuff. Yeah, I know um he married her, moved over to Scottsboro. That was the last time I talked to him. See, when he's with Amy, he can't talk to me for some reason. And then that's how I know when they split up, because like I said, I got a friend request today. Um, man, I don't know. They smoke that stuff in there. I don't I don't know why, man. It makes them wig out and flip out and start screaming and flopping around and stuff, and like I don't get it. I guess they smoke it because it don't put off a smell like real does. You if you're in a dorm full of people smoking roll up cigarettes, you're not gonna smell that flocka because it don't put off that skunk smell. So that's why they smoke flocka or whatever spice. Where I was at, they called it brown clown. They put some kind of powder on the regular roll up brown tobacco, and then that shit would make them, son. You talking about? I seen them shit on themselves. I seen them jump off the top rack and like a bird and just smack the concrete. You like, God dang. And then they get up and go to the infirmary and come back the next morning, and the first thing they walk in the dorm and say is, "Hey man, who's got one of them sticks?" And I'm like, bro, you just spent all night down there nearly dead, and then now you wanting the same thing that just about killed you. But there was people in there like that. That's all they did. They just laid around and smoked that flocka all the time. Yeah, man, I tell y'all what, I got hooked on Tiana's one time. Those gas station pills. Man, I like to die coming off them things. Oh, man, that stuff. Woo. I would go through about 2 bottles of them a day, and it was a good buzz, but it was like sort of like crack. It only lasted so long, and then you had to do something else. You had to do some more of them, and man, when you run out, you talking about some withdrawal, buddy. It was rough. But yeah, even that flocka and stuff's not. It's hard to come off of. But man, by them busting them 2 girls with all that weight, that's gonna hurt. Somebody was waiting on that. You know what I mean? That was somebody's pay hustle money or hustle. So man, see, and that's how easy you can get messed up in prison. Now, what if one of them dudes that was dating one of them girls has owed somebody 2 ounces of flocka? Well, now they done got busted. Don't think that debt's going away because the police got them. They still gonna have to pay up for them two zips, or whatever, however. So, Um, you know, like out on the street, if somebody gets busted, you know, or whatever, I mean, sometimes people just chalk it up, you know, charge it to the game or whatever. But in there, nothing gets charged to the game unless you just somebody just feels like doing it or whatever. But most time, if you owe a debt, you're gonna have to be responsible for it, regardless. If your mama dies and she was supposed to send you $20, they don't care. They where's my 20 at? That's so. Uh, I'm gonna look through, make sure I ain't missing nobody on the shout out, man. I appreciate y'all, Stacy. Like I said, man, you really good. You don't know how I appreciate that, man. I hit 2,000 subscribers, y'all. I read when I started this. Me and my dad was talking, and they said it takes about 2 years for most time. It takes about 2 years to get established enough to start getting money or whatever. And shoot, my first month, I mean, it wasn't no big amount, but the first month I actually made a little money. So, y'all, I had a short that got 24,000 views, and I was just playing around with the phone. I was just playing. I seen this short, and I clicked on a thing, and it said collab. So I hit it, and then it just let me make a video of myself with the short, and I was just like making faces or whatever. Hell, next thing I know, it's got 25,000 views, and I was like, damn. So, thank you, Stacy. I try to just keep it real and talk, you know, and I like answering y'all's questions. If y'all got anything y'all want to know about prison or anything, you know, all you got to do is ask. Dope game, prison game, whatever. I don't mind talking about it now that I don't do it. You know what I mean? If you don't, now that I ain't into all that no more, I don't care to talk about it. I mean, it is what it is. It's part of my past, and so I ain't ashamed to, you know. I mean, that's how you educate people. Hopefully somebody will see it and say, damn, I don't want to have to go through what that dude went through or whatever. So I wish I could get into some kind of deal where I could, like, you know, maybe talk to people or something, you know, maybe even the youth or whatever. Because I'm telling you, man, you don't want to learn the hard way. Let's see, what's Etowah County. Yeah, my brother did some time in Etowah County. Hell, I think he did 6 months down there. My brother was on 60 days in on A&E in Etowah County Jail, y'all. No lie. He was sitting in the damn in the holding cell and booking, and they asked him if he wanted to be on camera. He told them no, and they still put him on there anyway. So, yeah, my old brother was on 60 days in. Let's see. Yeah, they used to have a Etowah County used to have a federal holding contract. But I think they did away with it now. I don't think they house federal inmates anymore. I know they did. I know they used to be Etowah County had a federal holding facility. Morgan County still has a federal holding facility, and I think there's somewhere else. I don't know. I know Decatur has one. I mean, Morgan County has one, and Etowah County used to have one, but I think Etowah County did away with theirs. Yeah, there's a lot of drugs in Etowah County. I mean, a lot of drugs. I mean, on 60 Days In, if you watch that when they were at Etowah County, you could. I mean, they had drugs on there, so I mean, it ain't like it's no secret. I mean, it was on TV, and then plus, like I said, my brother told me, what all went on, and yeah, Etowah County, it's it's they got that new jail that time because they got that federal contract. That's why they see anytime the feds are involved, they build brand new facilities. What do you mean, Stacy? Like do you get into it with some people or something, or I know he was in FCI Talladega. Dang. Yeah, federal prison's different. I ain't never been to federal prison, but I've heard a lot about it, and but the last time I checked, he was at FCI Talladega. Oh yeah, Talladega's got it's a prison camp. Um, I think he gets out though in 29. About four. No, he might be getting out sooner. Yeah, I think it's 2029. What's up, Stephen Cope? How you doing, bud? Yeah, I didn't know that though. I didn't hear. I didn't know that anything happened to him or whatever. I know Wes. He ended up going to prison too in Alabama. For a while there. Um, I don't know. Did Amy take care of him while he was gone? When he was down there doing time? Oh, dang. Dang. I didn't know that, Stacy. That's crazy, man. And not only that, but he's a tough son of a gun, man. Uh, for him to get beat up like that, something must have happened, boy, because he can fight. I mean, he can really fight. So, but the thing about prison is sometimes you get clutched out, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. If you get 4 or 5 people jump on you done for. They'll stomp you and everything. So, um, yeah, yeah, you're right. Is her mom still alive? What's up, Diggy? How you doing, bro? All right. Yeah, I seen y'all was in the comments earlier. I couldn't get it to work, man. And then finally I got it. I got it to come through here or whatever. But no, I didn't know that about Drew. Did Wes tell you that? I got you. I got you. Um, yeah, he got 10 years, and then 10 years in the feds, you got to do 8.5 of it. Um, federal citizen is different. Okay, I got you. Yeah, the federal system is different. You got to do 85% of your time. Um, and then, from what I understand, like, I don't know if there's anybody on here that's ever been to federal prison. I think when you first go in, they come at you. The gangs. They want you to join or whatever. And if you don't want to, then they'll either join or get beat down. That's the way that's what I heard anyway. Yes, sir. I'm in a central time zone. Um, I hear you. You get a good deer or something, Stephen? What'd you have to drag out? Was it a buck or doe? Just some meat. I got you. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Hey, y'all, I'll be honest with you. This is my personal opinion, y'all. Now, I could be way off. Then again, I could be right. But man, I think we've got hard times to come, y'all. I think that we're just maybe one or two elections away from the whole country being in just civil unrest. I mean, look how far we're split, y'all. And y'all, and it's just like um it's just like in life, when you get everybody so split and stuff, and they throwing jabs back and forth. Eventually, what happens? The people get in a fist fight. I just feel like it's gonna be the same way, man, in this country. Everybody's so split and stuff. What's up, user Juice Man? Raymond Mims. Man, I don't know. A lot of people go by nicknames in prison, and some people you end up knowing their whole names, and then some people you just know them by a nickname for the whole time you're there. Like you don't even never know their real name. Like I had people that, I like there was this one dude I never even knew his name. Seen him, he was in the dorm I was in, and they called him, a certain nickname, but I never even knew his real name. Didn't want to. That dude was scary, man. Listen, this dude would. I mean, not like I don't like, not like he could like whoop everybody or nothing like that. But he had a boy and stuff, and he was into them boys or whatever. Man, when that dude would come walking up the aisle and I'd be sitting on my top rack, I wouldn't even make eye contact with him. Man, I ain't lying. This dude, he just creeped me out. I mean, like I wouldn't even look at him. I never looked at him. Never would I make eye contact with that dude. And I lived in, like I said, we lived in the same dorm for a long time, and I never once would even look him in the eyes. Um, I didn't know what. Yeah, you right. And once yeah, man, that's the thing. I was told before I went, like, hey, just sit back and watch for a while, watch everything. And that's what I did, man. And I figured out real quick. I was like, oh, okay. And but yeah, you ain't got all day to figure out what they doing. You got to figure it out pretty quick, like, are they finna try something? Are they fixing to jump on me? Are they here, just to ask for something, something simple? What you got to figure out what's up. And that's when you start watching people's body language. You watch them when they get mad and they're gonna get into it with somebody, or you watch them when they happy, or watch them when they're making if they're doing a 2 for 3 soup deal. If you just watch all that, eventually you can figure out by people's facial expressions what kind of shit they on. So like I used to sit and I'd see people come in the dorm. I got so good at it, I'd be like, oh yeah, he's up here to holler at that old boy. Or I might be like, oh yeah, he's here to get a tattoo. Or I might be like, oh shit, he's here to fight somebody. Like you can figure it out, man. Just if you just sit and watch people long enough, man, their body language will tell you everything. Um, and then once I got out, I started watching some of the FBI and CIA, like their tactics, how they go about interrogations and stuff. And that's how they do their interrogations. There's certain things you do, like when you get nervous, you'll have a vein right here in your forehead that'll pop up. Or if you're lying or something, and they read every bit of that shit. If you're sitting in the chair in the interrogation room and and you're rocking, they automatically assume that you're nervous or something. So yeah, dude, listen, I've told it before, Cope. What's up, Butch Morton? I'm sorry, bud. I didn't mean. I meant to give you a shout out. But Cope, we was at Decatur, and there was an old black man slept right behind me, and I didn't know his name. He was like 60 years old, and dude that I knew from the street come up one day. He was my little buddy or whatever, and I said, "Hey man," I said, "Who will clean my shoes up for me? Who clean?" Because there's always somebody in jail that does, or prison that does stuff like that for money. And he said, "Shoot, get old Coffee Ball right there to do it for you." So I turned around. I was like, "Hey, Coffee Ball," I said, "You mind? What you charge me to clean my shoes?" He's like, "2 soups." So I start getting cool with him because he's my neighbor. I'm calling him Coffee Ball and stuff. And then next thing you know, I got the whole camp calling him Coffee Ball. And then one day we just sitting there talking. And I was like, "Hey," I said, "why they call you Coffee Ball?" He said, "They don't." He said, "Your little stupid ass homeboy called me that one time and now it's stuck." And I was like, "Well, man, why didn't you tell me?" I was like, "Hell, I've been calling you Coffee Ball for months and you, man, never even told me nothing." He said, "That's how nicknames get started, Cliff." I said, "Oh, I guess you're right." But yeah, man, talking about the deer meat though, man, man, everybody need to try to save up everything they can, man. Um, if they ever was to not hit our power grid, people would die, man, within 6 months because half of this country, if not more, couldn't grow a garden or go out and find food. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people's not able to because of their health or whatever. And then a lot of people, they just never have done it, so they don't know how, And in a time of crisis, ain't the time to learn. You know what I mean? Like, so I'd advise anybody, man, because you never know what's going to happen with our country, y'all. I mean, any day, shit could pop off, man. Like, I mean, seriously, look what's going on. I mean, there's all kind of craziness. And all it would take is for another country to pop the power grid and we would be screwed. And our power grid is already weak as hell. You know what? I talked about those data centers a while back. Yo, I got to thinking about this. And I know it's going to sound like conspiracy theory. It may even be. What if they're building these? Think about this. So they're building these data centers in every state. I mean, every day you hear of a new one that they're going to build. They're no good for the community. They drain all the natural resources and water and all that. And they're building them daily. What if, look, 10 years ago, we didn't have no problem getting data off a phone. 5 years ago, we didn't have no problem getting the data off the phone. So now, why do we got to have all these data centers? What if it's a way to keep up with everybody? What if it's, because for one, if you ask for any public records about it, they redact them. They won't even tell you who's building it. They won't tell you who bought the land. They won't give you no info on it. So what if these data centers are tapping into the 5G or whatever and they're monitoring everybody? Anybody ever thought about that? Maybe that the data centers ain't for us to get data off of a phone. It's for them to get data off of our stuff. I could be wrong. Yeah, what's up, Nemesis? Yeah, man, that's an old documentary about old Lamar Moore and them. I've seen it too. I don't talk much on that, man. I seen some people, 2 different podcasters that were going back and forth on it, and now I think they're in a lawsuit. So I just left it alone. I wasn't there, and I can't say for a fact, but in my heart, I know what I know. You know what I mean? I was there. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, but yeah, I seen how these other two dudes got into it, over it, and I was like, no, I don't want no part of all that. Because, like I said, now I think they in civil court over it. So, um, but I have watched it. I've watched the reaction videos too, to where they went and got that guy Hips to come in and talk, and the producer of the show and all that. Yeah, roll tide, buddy. We got the Bengal Tigers this weekend. If we can knock them off and then get Oklahoma, I believe we're all right. I believe we'll be, if we can get them 2 wins, I believe we'll be straight. Nemesis, you from Tennessee, or is that 10 just? Is that just? Yeah. I was told that they, just like this computer and that TV, both have cameras in them that they can watch you at any time they want. Okay, all right. Shit, you over there in the murder capital of the world. Hey, no lie, man. I know some people around this way that Dolph used to come out here and bring them bowls. Yeah, I don't think them data centers see, when you think data center, everybody thinks, oh, they're building those so we can like get data, and I think it's for the government to get data off of us. I mean, you got to think about it, man. After 9/11, y'all, they passed laws to spy on Americans, and we ain't even the ones that hit the towers. Yeah, we rely way too much on China, man. I don't need, like, we buy most of our antibiotics from China. Like, why would you do that? They could put anything they want in them antibiotics if they wanted to and mess us up, man. And we got all these, like, there's a place over on Moore's Mill, that's where it's at, that that can make pills and stuff, and it's just sitting there. I mean, Butch, I appreciate it, man. I hit 2,000 subscribers last night, and I started in I think September 12th. So basically, in 2 months, I got 2,000 subscribers. So, I just, like I said, man, I try to stay neutral. I don't like go after nobody personally, and there's so many stories that I'd like to tell y'all. But certain people that's doing good now and had kids and stuff. So I don't really want to say it and say their name. So, but man, I got some stories I could tell, but, I just, people change. And the older you get, man, the more, the weirder your friends and stuff get, man. I don't know why, but it's like the people that I used to would take a bullet for, they won't even fuck with you now, man. I mean, for real. Like, I don't get it, man. Steven, I appreciate it, man. I just try to I try to make up for what I used to do, man. I used to, I wasn't a good person, I mean, I didn't do people right, and I didn't do women right, but I'm gonna tell you what, karma makes you pay for all that, and it ain't necessarily right then neither. They stuff that happens to me today that I can think back and be like, damn, that's because of something I did, 12 years ago. Oh yeah. Hey, you lose all you like if you in the dope game or whatever, and man, you got all kind of people calling, wanting to get high, wanting dope, wanting to do this and that. But soon as you go to prison and get out, and they find out that you doing right and you staying clean, you won't hear a word from them. Hey, I mean, hell, even people that ain't. I mean, they I got people that still won't even talk to me, and it's been 10 years, and that's me. I don't have any company. I do my thing and that's it. I don't even um shoot. I need to find me a female friend, man. I ain't even fooled with a woman like 2 years. Just I don't know. That's just how it's worked out. I'm like you. I stay to myself too, man. Um I don't even hardly drive after dark, y'all. I'm always home before it gets dark, and I don't go out at night. So if I ever do have to drive at dark, man, it's like a video game because I can't see because the headlights on the cars are so bright and shit, man. I'm like, when I go to pass them, I ain't gonna lie, I just tense up and I look for the yellow line on this side, and I know if I get on that yellow line and just hold on, hopefully the other car will stay in their lane. But especially them blue headlights, man, that shit, they need to do away with that, man. Um, I know it looks good, and I know them, nice Lexuses and shit like that. They look good with them blue lights. But man, when you meet them coming head on, and they blind you. What's crazy is they're not even that. Well, I guess they are bright too. I mean, but it's a different kind of bright, that blue color. Uh, let's see. Yeah, you right on that, Stacy. The people that you know back then and stuff, they not friends. I mean, that's just like, dude. I mean, me and him was day ones. I mean, from the time we was old enough to walk, talk, we was best friends. But when he's with old girl, he can't even mess with me, won't even speak to me. But then when they break up, friend requests, and then you might talk to him for 2 weeks and they get back together, and then you won't hear nothing from them for 2 years, till the next time. Nah, we all doing good. Listen, as long as you ain't, as long as you better than what was yesterday, then you always improving. That's the main thing. Um, that's the way I look at it. I try to be better today than I was yesterday. And man, Steven, I went through a relationship. I was married and I didn't even know what narcissism was. I'd only heard it once in my life back in the 2000s on The Sopranos, and I didn't even know what it meant then. I just heard it. And then after I got divorced, I bought some books and stuff, bought some psychology books. And dude, I read a book on narcissism and I was like, holy shit, this is my freaking marriage right here in a book. Like, I mean, no lie, like it, it was crazy, man. I hear you had to work in the kitchen. Um, yeah, you're right. Yeah, everybody's got tendencies. You're right. But when you find when people don't have empathy, you know what I mean. When they can't feel sorry for somebody, or they can't tell you that they're or they can't apologize, or they can't accept accountability or responsibility, those are you malignant or whatever. Then you got coverts, the ones. Let me tell you something about a narcissist. They got 3 different personalities. They got one for the public, to where they're perfect and they don't do nothing wrong, and everybody in their life has done them wrong. And then you got the second personality, which is the one at home that the family knows, and they know most of what goes on. And then you got the personality where it's just that person, and they know everything they've ever done, even the stuff that the family don't know and the public didn't know. So they're three people in one. Amanda, are you saying you're like that? I mean, you're a. I got you. Do you what I mean, how did you know? Like, did something happen in your life or something, and you just kind of like figured it out, or um did you go to a psychologist or something, talk to them, or man, I ain't listen. My ex, you know how like you in a relationship and maybe a little bit before bedtime, y'all kind of get into it or something, and you go to bed mad at each other. It might even before you go to bed, like F you and F you too, blah blah blah, and y'all go to bed mad. Well, the next morning I wake up, man, I'm feeling some type of way, like I want to apologize and be like, look, baby, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. It was wrong, and I love you, and I'm sorry. And now you're expecting them to say the exact same thing. Like, I know I shouldn't have said what I said. I'm sorry too, and I love you. Man, my ex would be like, well, you shouldn't have started an argument with me. And I was like, what the fuck, man? Why can't you just apologize to me? Like, I mean, but anyway, that was that. Somebody else is dealing with it now, not me. So, but um, let's see. Yeah, I did some studying about it, and um, the biggest y'all ain't a couple and arguing, are you? Am I? Wouldn't that be something? Anyway, yeah, and I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something else and I even read it in the book, and then I remembered, but man, every time we had like a social gathering or a holiday or something, like my ex, man, she would ruin it. Like, she would start, and I'm not saying I'm some perfect person or nothing. I got my flaws too, but man, like, I could never understand why, like, man, this is supposed to be a holiday and stuff. Like, why are you tripping, And then as I read, I started to understand it more. And but I could never figure that out. I was like, damn, like, I tell you how I got divorced. We had me and my ex went out one night and had the best night of our entire relationship. I swear to God. It was the best time we had ever had together. Come home, made love, all that. And then the next day, over with. And I'm like, how do you do that? We just had the best time of our lives, of our whole relationship. Last night was the best time ever. And then the next day, she booted me for nothing. I was like, golly. And I couldn't understand it. That's what drove me crazy, is I was trying to figure it out, and you can't figure it out. You just, but I try. I mean, she still does stuff, y'all. I don't even know how she does this, y'all. I can text and ask something like about child support or something, and she can she'll and somehow purposefully she will answer me back sometimes, but she will never make those two little things light up to show that she accepted the message. Yeah, when I got out of prison, Stacy, I met this girl. I shouldn't even have done it. I was in rehab, or I was in the reentry at the Foundry, and she was in the women's program, and she was looking at me in church one night. I found out that she was from this way, Huntsville or whatever, and then started talking to her, and then we started dating, and next thing you know, I had her pregnant, and didn't even know that she was waiting on another dude to get out of prison. And so in the meantime, she got me to buy a house and all that, and then run me off. And then as soon as dude got out, she married him, and now they got the place that I bought over there. It sucks too, that man, when and it's crazy. I'm just gonna tell it. I don't give a shit. This is what I was told when I got with her. The dude that she's with now, before I ever met her, the reason why she was at the Foundry, supposedly she was dating this guy, and the cops come over there to serve a warrant on him, and he wasn't at home. He was off in her car with another woman. So she said, he's not here. Y'all can look through if you want, and and see. Well, apparently, she said in the closet they found a meth lab that was his. They told her, if you don't call him and tell him to come claim this, we fixing charge you, and DHR is gonna come take your kids. Well, she said they called dude up, and dude said, no, sorry, I ain't coming back. So they charged her and took her kids. And so that's how I met her. Well, this dude went and did 7 years in prison. Soon as he got out, 2 months later, they're married. And I'm like, what? You married who? And I'm like, that's... So then I knew, I was like, man, wow, ain't no way you would marry somebody that would do you like, man, if a woman, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes in life, man, if you out there and you running and you breaking the laws and stuff, sometimes you just got to own up to stuff. Especially if you're a man and there's a women and children involved, man, you can't let that woman and them children get in trouble. You got to go claim that, and you're just going to have to go do your bid. I mean, that's part of it. I mean, if when you buy all that shit, that there's a chance you're going to get caught with it, and you might have to do some time. But anyway, I've moved on past that. They can be together. It won't ever work. I mean, how do you have a toxic relationship and then try to have it? It's anyway. I wish them the best. So, but yeah, that blew my mind. I was like, man, you told me all that stuff about this dude, and then you gonna marry him. Not only that, but the whole time we was together, man, she was talking to this dude and everything, lying to me and shit. Anyway, you live and you learn. That's all I can say about that. And that's what turned me. That's what kind of like turned me like. And then I did hook up with this girl down at the store a couple years ago, and I thought, I mean, it was going good, man, and then all of a sudden, like one day, she told me she got off work at 3:00. So her mama lived like 25 minutes away from her work. And I noticed things was getting weird with her. And one day it was like 3:00 on the dot, or 3:09. And I texted her up and I said, what are you doing? And she was like, me and my son are up here at my mom's. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I got to thinking, I was like, hold up. It's only 9 minutes after 3. She ain't even had time to get to her mama's yet. So I got in my truck and I rode up by her house. And when I made around the circle, y'all, if I would have been 5 seconds later, I would have missed it. I turned the circle and there comes her and another dude out of the house. And I pulled up on the road and I got out and I was like, what the fuck, man? I was like, and she cussed me out, told me to go on, and never spoke to me again. So after that, I ain't dated, I ain't talked, I ain't even did nothing, man. I need to find me a woman. I need to do something. I need to clean my pipes out. I'm rusted. Get some of that radiator seal and run through me. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, that was crazy. I said right then and there, I was like, man, this marriage shit, it's for the birds. But I wanted that. I wanted to be married. I wanted to have a family and stuff. And but it wasn't ever going to work anyway because she had already had reservations for him when he got out. I was just something to play with. And see, and she didn't, and I didn't mean to get her pregnant. I didn't even think I could have kids. So when I got her pregnant, that throwed a whole wrench into everything right there, What's up, Rick Dog? Yeah, man, I bought this girl a home. Man, let me tell you how she played me. Told me, said, all I want is somebody that'll buy me and my kids a home. No man I've ever been with has ever bought me a proper home. Man, I went and made that shit happen. I bought a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,100 square foot brand new mobile home. Had it set up, had to pay for the underpinning, paid for them 12 or 15 loads of dirt and gravel at $500 a load. The back deck, all the furniture on the inside, paid $30,000. And then she got it in court. You know how much I got back? $5,000. And I got it back in November, and I felt bad for her and gave her $1,000 of it back so she could go and get her kids Christmas. Yeah, that's how big of a sucker I am. That's all I learned. I learned my lesson on that. And that's a good thing about life, man. If you can learn from a mistake, then you are all right. You know what I mean? It's okay to mess up. We all gonna mess up. If you learn from it though, then you winning. If you keep repeating it, then somebody else is winning, but hey, Ty, how you doing, bro? Welcome in, man. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, man, because I'm gonna tell you the power of love or the illusion of love, either one, whatever you want to call it, is so strong, man. Some people just won't ever give up. It took me a long time to give up, man. I waited around for a couple years thinking that she would come back. And then finally, when she married old dude, I was like, fuck this, I'm out. And then I let it go then. Especially after she had told me what she told me about him, I was like, man, fuck that. What's up, Rock? What's up, Tim? How y'all doing, man? I used to be in prison with a dude from Birmingham that was named Rock. He could do tattoos and stuff. He was a good dude, man. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I do. I just do me, and it gets boring, it gets lonely and all that, but something to give. One of these days I'll meet somebody or something, or I may not. You never know. You know what I mean? I thought about calling a hooker one time, and I backed out of it because I was like, man, I ain't about to pay no $200 to get laid. Hell, you know what I mean? They too much free out to be paying all that money, but then again, you got to get out and go find it though to get the free. You feel me? So I just thought, man, I'm gonna just call one up, but I was like, no, I ain't paying that. Um, man, my last few lives been messed up, anyway, bro. So you didn't miss nothing. Um, oh yeah, um, ain't nothing wrong with that. Um, everybody need to get laid every now and then. You know what I mean? Like, um, I'm way overdue. But still, though, I ain't finna come up off no two bills for it like that. Like, come on, man. That um, let's see. Yeah, I know what you mean. I've been. That's why I'm saying I almost did it one time. I done called him up and got the info, and I was finna drop the hammer on it, and I was like, oh man, hell, I'll just go to bed. You know what I mean? And um, but see, that's the thing. I don't know anybody around here. I don't know. Like when in your hometown, you know what girls, who's married, who ain't, who will hit, and who won't. But when you move off and you don't know nobody, you don't know who to hit up. Yeah, man, they was dudes in there writing. They have women writing all kind of stuff, man. It's called or when I was in there, there was a site called behindthewall.com. And it was a site where you could go and get on there and these women could find you and then they could start writing you and stuff. I think it was called Pen Pals Beyond the Wall or something like that. Um, yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you what, ain't nothing like a heartbreak, bro. That shit'll bring you to your knees, man. Um, but I used to see people that wasn't married and they would always just be together and stuff. And I was like, man, I wonder why them folks don't just get married and stuff. And then when I got older, I'm like, now I see why they just, did what they did, and yeah, you're right, man. There's a lot of good women out there. I just but here's the thing. We're attracted to ourselves in a way. You know what I mean? Like we attract what sort of like man, no, I ain't really got a type. Freaks, I like freaks. That's the freak ones that get freaked. That's it. But as far as like size and all that, no, I ain't got no. I just like them freaky. Yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna be real with you. Um, Rick Dog. Hey, yeah, I like them freaky. That's the way. That's the best ones. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure I ain't missing nobody here. I don't know why they hold these messages. Let's see. My bad. Police impersonator, predator, throws tantrum. Jen Ramsey, how you doing? You know some women in West Virginia? It ain't the Whitakers, is it? No, I'm just playing. I'm playing with you. Let's see. Is that where you from, Jen? West Virginia? Or you just cutting up? Oh no, I've never been to the Dark Horse or whatever. I had never heard of it, but my dad used to live in Anniston. Oh, you live in Scotland? That's cool. Are you redheaded, Jen? Timmy, don't call me Whitaker, baby. Boy, them Whitakers, them dudes went in there, old Eric and Patrick and them, and ruined the whole damn thing, didn't they? I mean, ruined the whole, made it a cluster, son. Got them took, got them took away. Stole money from them. Yeah, I mean, man, crazy. Ruined that family, man. And like I said, man, yeah, red on the head, fire in the bed. Yeah, hell yeah, they did. What you talking about? Some myth, Jen? What Rock said? I know. Ain't a lot of. Oh, I'm thinking about Ireland. Ireland's where all the redheads are. They don't. They don't wear no carpet no more, dog. Hey, them carpet days is over. Hey, them carpet days is gone. They got hardwood floor now, baby. Laminate floor. That's smoother than a baby's ass. Ain't no more of that shag carpet, boy. That's over with. Stacy knows she knows I'm right. Yeah, carpet been gone. Yeah, it's laminate floor now, baby. You can wax them things. No, I remember I used to have some of them old movies too, dog. Um, I ain't gonna lie, I was uh when I was about 12 year old, my brother was 5 years older than me, so I had access to all kind of movies and stuff, man. So I always had my homeboy and my friends. Hey, man, let me come over here and listen. Oh man, dude, I remember being 11, 12 years old. All of us, yeah, I remember it. Man, my buddy John Maywell, I grew up with him. His daddy had the original Deep Throat, man, the original one. Oh, I seen a video where Eric, he said that his lawyers um, worked out a deal with him. And then Patrick supposedly gave him a card and said that they were even. But then somebody come back and said that that wasn't true, that they had seen that on somebody's live. So I don't know what's going on. But um, yeah, they messed that family up bad, boy. Um, it looks like an old ragged ass Range Rover, don't it? It looks like it looks like a black Range Rover or Land Rover or something. Okay, I thought so. Because I seen that where BJ went to his house, and but apparently Patrick gave him the car and told him that he was even with him. He didn't owe him nothing else, and they was done. And then he was gonna have to like sue Eric. No, Eric was saying that Patrick was borrowing what they were going to make in the next month. And then when that month's money would come in, he would have to give it back right away. And then he'd turn around and borrow it again. So, but then, like I said, I don't know how true that is. That's just what I seen. Yeah, the dude that does soft white underbelly, he did them better than anybody. Hell, he gave him $150,000. Mark Lyda, that's his name. Yeah, Mark. Man, y'all, hell, yeah, man, I appreciate y'all on them supers and stuff, man. I didn't even know what a super was until like 3 days ago. But soft white underbelly. Yeah, Mark, he got tired of it. He told him, I'm done. He's like, I'm washing my hands with y'all. I've gave y'all this amount of money. I'm done. I'm out. I'm not coming back to West Virginia. I'm gone, and y'all can deal with Eric and Patrick or whoever. But Mark, he bounced out of there. I want to build my channel up to where I can start getting some revenue, to where I can like start. I want to get some inmates to call. Like I want to try to get some high profile inmates. Because I think that if I talk to them the right way, I think I can get certain people to call. Like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I want to, not because I'm a fan or nothing like that. I just would like to talk to the dude, because everybody goes at him crazy. And I just want to come at him like, hey man, just call and just talk. But I've been trying to get Alex Murdoch, the dude that shot his wife and kid. Yeah, I would just like to tell him, hey man, just call in and just talk, man. We ain't got to go through all that, why you did this or none of that. I just just tell me how your prison life is like. Yeah, Tim, I hit 2K last night. Yeah, that's the thing. But see, to do that, you gotta put money on the phone and stuff, and then you're gonna have to put them some money on their books, because they going. I mean, I'd be the same way. I'd be like, look, yeah, I'll do it, but you're gonna have to, you're gonna have to put me 100 on my books or whatever, and you're gonna have to, yeah, Alex Murdoch. I know, but you know what? They've got his address. They got his mailing address blocked, I guess, because he's so high profile. Like, I know he's in South Carolina prison, but when you do a South Carolina prison inmate search, I couldn't never find him to send him a letter. Like, I wrote him a letter and everything, and then when I went to get the address to what camp he was at, I couldn't even find him. So they must took him off, because he probably was getting bukus of mail, hate mail and shit. Man, they won't let you send cigarettes or nothing. You would just have to, you'd have to write them a letter and put money on the phone, and then let them call you, and then you'd probably have to put them some money on their books, and then let them. It's spelled, you got it right. It's said, instead of OU, it's AU, Murdoch, but they pronounce it Murdoch, but it's Murdoch, MURDAUGH. You close. It sounds like that. But yeah, man, ain't that crazy, man? That dude shot his wife and his son. And hey, guess what? Y'all know the reason why? He was hooked on them opiates, and they was on to him. And see, when you get on them opiates, man, for some reason you start lying, and then you tell one lie and you got to cover up another lie, and then you got to tell another lie to cover up that lie, and then eventually all them lies catch up to you, and you caught, and then you either got to do what he did, or lose your family, or go to jail, or something. But eventually it all comes to a head, like, you just like, I'm telling you, I was on them opiates for years, and man, you rob from Peter to pay Paul, and yes, it's just a juggling game all the time. You might get some fronted off this dude, and then you might, had to go and borrow some money from this person to pay them back, you know, and then it was just a whole cluster is what it was. But um man, I'm gonna tell you, them opiates, that was a rough way of going, man. Um but yeah, man, I'd like to do that. Another guy I want to get to talk to. I want to talk to Casey White in Alabama prison. The guy that, you know, the one that escaped with the woman and they went on the run and she killed herself right over here in Lauderdale County or whatever. I'd like to talk to him, you know, and just, you know, let him talk, you know, like I ain't judging. I mean, whatever happened, happened. That's their business, you know, but I ain't gonna judge him, you know what I mean? Cause I ain't nobody to be judging nobody. Yeah, they got the death penalty. Matter of fact, they just started using nitrous oxide to kill people. They did use man, I hold on, I don't think I can say that, to unalive people. They used to have the electric chair, and then they went to lethal injection, and then now they're using nitrous oxide. Um, like I think they just used it on the first guy, like I don't know, a month ago or something like that. So apparently, Alabama just put a innocent man to death. Now that's what the word is. A guy named Anthony Boyd. Y'all can go look it up. Anthony Boyd, Boyd. Supposedly, him and two other guys, they did burn a guy to death, but he was kind of like there, and the other two guys were the ones that did it, but they were the first ones to get the deal. And so they turned on him, and then he got the death penalty. They killed him the other day. He actually made a phone recording and sent it to Governor Kay Ivey and begged her to come talk to him before she executed him, and she wouldn't do it. They put him down like a dog, man. It was supposedly they burnt this guy, put gas on him and burned him up over a $200 debt. But yeah, Casey White had a cousin named Chris White who was in Ventress with me. Now Casey White's like 6'9", and well, the dude said he was his cousin, whatever, Chris, but he was like 6'5", so 6'6", so and they looked alike, so it might, and they from the same area, so but Chris was one of them, man, that you just couldn't believe nothing. That mug, he was wild, man. Oh yeah, Stacy, you talking about that nitrous oxide? I did too. They said it does something to you right before you die, like it. What did they say? It's like some kind of agony or something. Yeah. I was in Kilby waiting to find out where I was going, and there was a white dude in there that I got to talking to, and he was from Mississippi, and he had done a bunch of time at Parchman, and he said that it was a messed up place. Boy, Casey's a big old dude, man. Man, I'm gonna tell you what though, that dude's a genius, man. He, for real, think about this. He had already put the Mac down on that lady. Went to prison on a big time sentence, whatever they gave him, 20, 40, whatever. And then he was suspected of something else that he didn't do, another murder. And he knew that if he pled guilty to it, that he could come back and be in the jail with her. And that's, I mean, to escape and shit, that was a genius move. I would have never thought of that. You know what I mean? Like, because if you think about it, they got to bring you back and they got to indict you. Then they got to prelim. Then you got to go to trial. It might take 2 years. So you might sit in that county jail for 2 years. Man, they said that man, she was hooking up, you know, apparently she was a cool CO, man. Like she would put her favorite people in a dorm or a cell, and then give them all kind of shit, And they said, "Oh boy," I guess y'all watched the documentary I watched, and I mean, she was, man, hooking him up with everything, booty and all, food. Now I don't know, but I think they made a pact that if something happened, they were both going, you know, and she held her end of the bargain. Soon as you can hear it on the live, soon as they crashed, she told him, and she was serious about it, man. I remember listening to their phone calls, boy, he was putting that game down on her. I'm talking about putting it hard. That's what you got to do, though. If if you're gonna try to if you're trying to get that woman, you got to lay that game down. You got to rap. Yeah, he loved that old girl for real. And then she was down for him too. I mean, you could hear their phone calls. I mean, um, but yeah, man, wouldn't that be cool though to like have them people call in? Like I could take my phone and like set it right here on speaker and just talk to them and let it, talk out loud, and then everybody on the live could listen to it. See, or I could make a video, either one, But yeah, from what I understand, that murder that or whatever that he came back and pled guilty to, I don't think he did it. I think he only pled guilty to it so he could get back to her, and it worked. Genius move. No, I didn't know he did a YouTube interview, man. Let's see. No, what happened, Stephen? I don't. Chose a firing squad. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I'm gonna if it's on YouTube, I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Rock. What'd be a hell of a way to go, firing squad. Boy, they used to do it back in the day. They used to be, man. Sometimes I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I get mad sometimes at people or stuff, and I'll be like, man, have y'all ever watched that show Deadwood on HBO? There's times that I'm like, or Game of Thrones, either one. I'm like, boy, I wish I lived in them times because back then you could do what you wanted. Yeah, there's a lot of innocent people they put to death. Let me tell you something, y'all. If somebody gets murdered, somebody's going to jail for it. 9 times out of 10, somebody's going to get charged whether they did it or not, because the police department gets all this pressure put on them. The DA gets all the pressure put on them. The politicians, everybody's getting calls. Everybody's wanting somebody to be charged. And then these cops, they'll just find somebody that's they can they'll find somebody that cannot prove that they didn't do it, and then they'll charge them and wrap them up in a bow, and then if they get the death penalty, oh well. That's what I was talking about the other day. I don't know how some of these people sleep at night, man, knowing what they do. Yeah, I'm going to. I'll check it out, bro. Oh, I don't think they hang nobody no more, man. I think they stopped all that. I know they used to, boy, back in the day, they'd line people up on them gallows and like I watched Boardwalk Empire, and that's what they did. That was Atlantic City in 1900s. They would shoot people go them dudes that steal something or steal their liquor or whatever. Man, they'll line them up, hang all of them. I was like, man, dang, I didn't know they'd let you choose that. Man, you got to be well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You're if you got to choose between some kind of nitrous oxide or something or firing squad, I don't know what I'd choose or getting the gallows. I don't know what I would. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do the gallows because it snaps your neck. You know, that's what does it. Wouldn't want to do that. My luck, I'd get my luck. I'd take the firing squad and it wouldn't do nothing but wound me. You know what I mean? Get hit 15 times and they all just miss barely. You know, and you still there, and then somebody had to come over there and oh man, shit, meatloaf and macaroni and cheese and uh shoot, probably some pintos and cornbread and uh yeah, that'd probably be mine. And one of them little strawberry parfaits from Walmart. Man, them things right there, they the bomb. Are they good for you? Hell no. Do they taste good? Hell yeah. You can find them over there where the birthday cakes and shit are. They come in a little old square cup, man. I'm talking about they off the chain. All right, Voices of a Killer. I'm gonna check that out. Man, the best. You feeling any better now? Hopefully, they're watching. I hope that you feeling a little better now. I know what it's like to be down and stuff, and sometimes you gotta get around some people and talk and get your mind off of it. Man, I'm gonna tell you, our biggest enemy, y'all, is our own thinking. I'm an overthinker, bad, and no, it wasn't Bobby Stapler's computer. It was a boy from Gurley over there, Justin Whitley. It wasn't Bobby. Man, I couldn't believe that. I was in that closet pissing, and I know, like, I'm thinking I'm gonna just pee on their wardrobe or whatever, and I'm noticing that it ain't making the noise. Like I'm hearing like a splattering noise or something. So I'm like, well, maybe they got hardwood floors. And then I thought it when I was about to go back out, I flipped that light and there was a whole desk with computers, and I was like, oh shit. So I just shut the light off and got back in bed with old girl. And then when we dipped out of there, old boy called me like 2 days later. Man, what'd you do to my dad's room, man? I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, man, somebody pissed all in my dad's all over his computer and everything. I was like, oh, it wasn't me, Bubba. I didn't. Yeah, he probably would have. Bobby didn't play. Bobby kept a piece in his pocket at all times. You didn't know it neither, but Bobby had I call it a pocket rocket, but Bobby kept a gun in his pocket at all times. Yeah, man. You know what's so crazy about that yard, me running through them people's house? I was literally riding down the road like this, puffing away on a joint, and I'm looking at this girl, and I'm like, damn, she's fine. And man, I look up and I go right down the side of their car. I didn't hit it head on. I hit it like headlight to headlight. But something hooked my tire and made it peel back. So as soon as my car got past their trunk, it goes swoop, right up into their house, man. And man, listen, y'all know anybody that's ever smoked pot in your vehicles, if you ever drop a joint or a half a joint or roach, it always goes into a spot where you can't find it, but the police can. Man, when I hit that house, that joint said boop and popped right down in the passenger side floorboard. And I was like, thank God. I reached down and grabbed it and took a drink of Coke and just swallowed it. But what's so crazy is I passed the field sobriety test, man, knowing I smelled like a skunk. And they had me down there with my I was down there with my knees up and one finger on my nose and everything, passed all that shit. Yeah, Timmy, I know Stacy. Me and her grew up in the same town. We run in the same circles, had the same friends and stuff. Yeah, I remember when my car come to a stop inside that house. I looked up and there was a mounted deer. It was a clock and then a mounted deer right here, and I was like, "Holy shit, man! I've done run through these people's house." And then on top of that, Alpha Insurance tore me a new one, buddy. They sent me a letter in the mail, said, I got the same day, I got a letter from Alpha and I got a letter from Aaliyah, which is the state troopers. And it said that your license is suspended. And then I opened up the Alpha one, and then it says your license is suspended until you pay this $14,000. Or I think it was 14. And so I was like, look here, I ain't got 14 grand, so I guess my license is just going to have to stay suspended. And they did for years. You can ask Stacy, even when I cooked the dope, I always had to get somebody to come get me. Because I didn't have, like, I was one of them people, I didn't really drive a lot on when my license was suspended. A lot of people just don't give a shit. They'll drive, but I always just looked at it like, man, if I keep driving on suspended, you're going to eventually end up in jail, and then you driving record too. So I just wouldn't drive. Yeah. Hell, I rode a bicycle. Right, man, when I went to prison, I was riding a damn bicycle, grown man. But I didn't have no way of going. But my town was so small, and it had sidewalks and shit, so you could ride a bike. I had me a Mongoose mountain bike. I rode that son bitch every man. Hey, you talking about embarrassing, man. Riding down the middle of town, everybody you know riding by, blowing the horn and stuff. Crazy. Yo, Leonard was something else, man. I remember I walked out of Leonard's one day and I had a case of beer in each arm and brown paper sack, big old brown Piggly Wiggly bags. And when I walked out, there was Poochie sitting right across the street there on that little road that Joe Magoo and them live on. And they got us. Yeah, I drank some moonshine. Yeah. Made a little before. Man, motherfucker ain't whooping no Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali will tear his ass up. I remember one time my uncle, he asked me if I could hook him, if I'd take him down there and get him connected so he could buy on Sundays. And I was like, yeah, cool. So we walk in and I was like, hey, Leonard, this is my uncle, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah. He was like, you and my wife were supposed to go out on a date in high school. And my uncle was like, huh? And it'd been like 35 years, And he was like, yeah, you so-and-so, you and my wife were going to go out on a date in high school. He's like, but that was before I met her and everything. And my uncle was like, oh, damn, man. But, yeah, that was crazy. I was like, okay, damn, I done got a situation going here, Oh. Yeah, he would take that 5-gallon bucket and walk next door and fill it up and come back. Yeah, they's I know up here in Tennessee they got some and up in Kentucky too. There's some people up there I know that make some moonshine, but they put fruit in it. And they say if you put fruit in it, then you really ain't making it good. They say if you can't make, you know what I mean. If you got to put fruit in it, then you trying to cover up, maybe you messed the flavor up or whatever. So you had to put fruit in it to cover it up. What's up, Blake? Make sure I ain't missing nobody. Stacy, you remember Leonard too? Yeah, man, listen, you can go up there on Sundays and he didn't give a damn. I remember, I started going there when I was like 15, 16 years old because my mama and them knew him. And he never turned me down. I can't count the people that I carried up there and hooked them up. Like, hey, this is my friend so-and-so. They good. He like, all right. And then, as long as I said they was good, he didn't care. But, yeah, I've watched all the moonshining episodes, all the Popcorn's interviews, all the Last Down Run of Liquor, everything. I'll tell you what, if I was old Mark Rogers and them, and I don't know if I could go off in the woods with that old girl making moonshine without trying to hit on her. Oh, the Sugar Shack and Billy Bird, man. Listen, I started buying stuff from him when I was 13 years old, man. He didn't give a damn, man. I remember that one day I come in there and I said, Billy, yeah. And he was in the back room, and I didn't even know he had a back room. I thought it was a tanning bed back there. Man, let me tell you something. I went off in that room, and he had dirty movies spread out across the table. The whole walls was covered in damn submarines, boy. And I was like, damn. I was like, hey, Billy. I was like, man, how much are these movies, And so I started buying movies from him and stuff. And man, he was something. He had this little old scales you could buy. He had meth pipes, crack pipes. You name it. He had if you wanted it, Billy Bird had it, and he'd sell it to you too. See, I just lived right down the street, so I walked up there every day, sometimes 4 or 5 times a day. I was always up there, and then sometimes like he'd let us hang out in the front of the store, So a lot of times I just sat around up there and hang out and smoke cigarettes and shit, No, man, unfortunately I got a bad habit. I smoke cigarettes, bro. I need to quit, but yeah, I know Kurt and Betty, man. We used to buy, man, listen here. Kurt and Betty's was the only place I ever know you could go get your groceries, your cigarettes, a 30-30 deer rifle, a box of shotgun shells. You get damn steaks cut, sandwiches made. You had a toy aisle. Like I said, you buy a damn 30-30 from him. 22. He had all kind of. Kurt and Betty's had everything, man. Yeah, he was something serious, man. Made a killing down there at that store. Over the years, I'm talking about made a killing. Kurt and Betty's, boy, that brings back some memories. Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, I used to. I used to hang sheetrock with Fred and them when I was about 17 or 18 years old. Me, Fred, Rodney Haygood, Chris Hollingsworth. Who else was it? Somebody else. Bo somebody, not Bo Bad, but Bo. Anyway, but yeah, I used to work with Fred. And I know Fred real well. He's a good dude. Is he still alive, Stacy? Okay. Yeah, that's Coon's brother. Oh yeah, I seen Owens Crossroad. I rode a boat because we lived on 0431 in the curve at Kurt Road. I remember taking a boat with Randy James. We went all the way through Crossroads, rode by Kurt and Betty's, and water was about halfway up the front door. We come cruising right through there on the boat, rode down, turned it around at Owens Crossroads School, and then come back up and went up the old highway toward the old Big Cove Road. Oh, that was back in like 90 or 91, though. Yeah, that was Poochie. He shot Curtis and what was Curtis's last name? He was sleeping with Curtis's old lady. And then Curtis went over there and beat the shit out of him at his front door. And then turned around and was walking back to get in his van across the road over there where Fred lived. And Poochie come running out of the house and shot him in the back. They gave him 20 over that, and he did about 3. I think they must have split it up for him because he didn't do too much of it. What's crazy is that old boy Poochie. He was sleeping with Curtis's wife, and he went and yeah, man, Poochie and them, man, them motherfucker, dude, he's the sorriest piece of shit I ever. I hated that dude, man. They used to run over us so bad, man, and bust up in our house with no warrant, stop us, and search the cars with no warrants, just put us in, arrest us for stupid shit, public intoxication. Like, come on, man. Like, he would think he was going to catch us with a bunch of dope or something, and then he wouldn't find no dope, and we might have a 6-pack of beer, and he'd still charge us, just for spite, man. Like, man, I hated Poochie, David Dean, all that bunch, man. They wasn't no good, man. No good. They oh man, they would, man, talking about Buddy Dean. Let me tell you a story now. This dude was a cop at New Hope. He was married to this girl and had a kid with her. I was dating her sister. So we had a fish fry one time at his house, Buddy Dean's house. And I had to go because it was my in-law, even though he was a cop, whatever. Well, I'm doing the fish frying on the front porch. They're in the house drinking beer. Well, I light up a joint. So I'm out there on the porch burning a doobie. Here comes Buddy out. He's like, man, pass me that motherfucker. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, pass it to me. So I passed it up. Shit, he hit it down about 4 or 5 times with me and went on back in the house. And but out of all of them, Buddy was the best one. I thought so. He was the coolest to me out of all of them. Like I said, that was the only time I've ever smoked a joint with a cop. Well, like I said, he wasn't on duty or nothing. It was like I said, we was having a fish fry. Danny Buttons, who is that? Oh, you talking about Danny Bearden. Oh, hey, Blake, man, I appreciate it, man. Thank y'all. It's on y'all the ones that make it happen. I appreciate it, man, for real. It happened a lot faster than I thought it would. I can tell you that. I didn't even think this thing would do anything. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know if people was going to watch it or what, and it just man, I'm sure I know what you're talking about, but I just can't remember it at the moment. Danny Buttons. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think on that right now. But Yeah, I don't know. But trying to think anything anybody got any questions? Anybody want to know anything about, y'all can ask anything. It's whatever, you know. If I can answer it, I will. Y'all can ask anything, prison, dope, whatever, you know. Oh, let's see here. Trying to make sure I ain't missed nobody on the shout outs. Yeah. Yeah, I know Chad Terry, man. Know him well. Little short dude covered in tattoos. Arizona, Kentucky, Mom. How you doing? Um, Amanda, I don't claim to be clean because I take anxiety medication. So I just say I changed my ways. But I hadn't lived that crazy life in like 9 years. So, but I do take medication for anxiety. So I don't want to be, like saying, "Oh yeah, I'm clean" or whatever, because really you ain't clean if you, even though you need it, for your medical condition or whatever. I still though just keep it 100. Um, let's see. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I mean, I don't abuse them or nothing. I just, I've just always been that way. Like, because here's the thing: if you say you're clean, and then somebody ever finds out or sees your bottle or something, and they're like, "Oh, he's saying he's clean. He takes Klonopin or whatever," then so I just keep it 100 and be like, that way you ain't got to worry about nobody coming back on you like that. So um yeah, I take clonazepam, Klonopin, whatever you want to call it. um they they saved my life, man. I tell you what, I don't know why the hell I have this anxiety so bad, man, but god dang. What's up, Michael Frost? How you doing, bro? Robert Cruy, what's up, bro? Oh, yeah, man. A lot of them dudes are married, man. A lot of them dudes are married. They go to prison, be a boy, and then get out and get back with their wife. Don't even tell them. Yeah, I go to a psychiatrist and everything. Man, I just all the stuff that's happened in my life and stuff, man. It just, you know, uh, it's just best to go. I made my mind up. When I got out, I was like, man, I'm just fixing to go and do it the right way. And you know, uh, they died out of. She diagnosed me with PTSD and all kind of stuff. Uh, Something about prison, man. Here's the thing about prison, and like you go to prison and you got to go by this respect thing. Like, I mean, if you walk past somebody, you got to say, "Excuse me." You got all these rules. You can't talk. Like if somebody's eating or something, you can't walk up and talk because you might spit on their food, or you can't talk over their coffee or things like that. And then you come out of prison and you go into one of these jobs around people that's never knowed anything about that, and it's so hard to adjust because the first time that somebody does you messed up, or you think it is, you want to, it's natural, it kicks in that prison, like how you supposed to handle it in prison. But then you got to think, wait, I'm not in prison, I'm at a job, and these people don't know about all this shit, so I got to chill out. And then it's man, I'll tell you, I've had so many problems trying to work, man, um, at jobs just because of like like I can't deal with them power tripping folks, man. I can't do it. I call them out. I'll tell them to their face, hey man, you on some bullshit, man. You ain't no fucking supervisor, so quit acting like it. That's the type of person I am, and I shouldn't be that way. But damn, man, if you ain't the boss, don't be over here telling me what to do. Go the fuck on somewhere, like let me do my job. I mean, that's the way I look at it, like I ain't over there bothering you. Why you over here fucking with me? You ain't even the boss, man. Go on. But yeah, it's hard to adjust. Yeah, right. I agree, man. I went to the soon as I got out, I found me a doctor. I told him, I was like, look, man, I was like, I need to see a psychiatrist. I got problems, and she knew it. She talked to me. She knew what was up. And, see, that's another thing. Now in prison, they got what they call kicking it. Okay, kicking it means is when you gay joking all the time, like a lot of times, like if you and your buddies are sitting around or something, and they'd be like, "Give me a pull off that cigarette," and you might be like, "I'll give you a pull off his," But there's certain people now that they call it kicking it, but they call it jumping in the car, which means if you start kicking it with them, you jumped in the car. So you've got to take whatever they come back at you with. And so the best thing to do is just not even kick it at all in there, and like I said, unless it's just like you people that you best buddies or whatever, you know how it is. Give me a pull off that cigarette. I'll let you pull on these, you know how. So, yeah, another thing, like no wrestling in prison. If somebody wants to wrestle, you can go on to the next guy, because I've seen so many people that I'm stronger than you are. No, you ain't. Well, let's show. And then they start tussling around. And then guess what happens? Somebody gets mad and then fight every time, man. Or somebody gets slammed and their neck broke or something. So I learned. And then also an old timer told me, he said, look here, man, if somebody ever wants to grapple with you and stuff, he said, all they're doing is sizing you up to see how strong you are, to see if they ever got into it with you, if they could whoop you or not. Or if they could, if they feel that you stout as hell, then they'll know they'll have to like go for your legs or something. But if they can throw you around or whatever, then they know that you ain't about nothing or whatever. He said, so don't ever like, tussle with nobody. He said, just let it ride. If, and that's the truth, man. That's the God's honest truth. That's all it is people sizing you up to see what you're about. They want to see if you're strong or not. So I didn't. You just got to be smart in there, man. You got to use your head. A lot of people just try to use brawn, and you got to use this fucking brain, man. That's what God give you this brain for. You got to use it. They leave them alone. They don't. They got it easier than anybody, man. They don't. Nobody fucks with them. Nobody steals their shit. Every one of them's called pops. There's a million pops in everybody. If you over 50 or 60 in prison, you pops. Every one of them named pops. Yeah, man, but if you ain't getting high and running up debts and shit, you just doing time about 45, 50. And then especially once you get on up in the 60s and shit, they definitely don't mess with you. But I seen a 60-year-old sissy in there, y'all. Listen. Hey, these old boys, now they were in the white gang or whatever, and they were in my dorm. And they told me one time, they said, "Hey, Clif." I said, "Yeah." They said, "Hey, you see that old boy over there?" I said, "Yeah." And the dude was about 60-something year old. And they said, "Go," and they made it like I was going to ask something. You know, they was like, "Go over and ask him why they call him Heater Head." Now, I should have known not to do this. So I go over there and I said, "Hey, man," I said, "why they call you Heater Head?" And this dude blew up on me, old man. "You motherfucker, don't nobody call me that but my friends, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "All right, damn, my bad." So I went back and I was like, "Man, y'all motherfuckers," you know, I said, why do they call him Heat? They all laughing, falling out on the floor laughing. And I said, "Why do they call him Heater Head?" And they said, "Hell, I reckon he's got the firest head in the camp." I said, "God dang." But yeah, he was an old sissy. They called him Heater Head. Said he had the best head in the camp. I said, "God, y'all." But he got mad as hell when I called him that. He said, you don't call me that. Only my friends call me that." I was like, I didn't even know what it meant, man. And them boys, they put me up to it. They got me good. Yeah. If you, especially if you're small, you're in trouble. If you're white, if you're like 5'8", 100 pounds, little young white dude, especially if you want them little pretty boys, blonde headed, oh my God, they gonna tear your ass up. They gonna put yeah. Man, I seen them little dudes come in, and I just look at them and I'd be like, "Oh man, know what's gonna happen to them." But then, don't get me wrong. Now, I seen one of the baddest dudes in prison wasn't even probably like 5'5", 5'6", and he run a whole camp for the whites. I mean, he carried some weight. And he was a little, I mean, he was short, but man, he was muscular. I mean, dude, he was from Bessemer, Alabama. It's crazy. I seen a dude from Bessemer on my second night in prison get raped with a broom, and then got to Decatur and seen one of the baddest dudes in the prison system who was from Bessemer, a white dude. It was, man, you see all kind of stuff in there, man. It's shit. Everybody and their brother, all kind of people was. It used to be a thrill, man, to get out and like you get up in the morning and y'all leave out and you got to go get all the stuff gathered up and you got to deal with the run around and the bullshit, and then finally at some point in the day you get everything you need and you go back to the house, and once you get back to the house in 1 hour, buddy, it's on. You know, but yeah, at the time I was doing it, everybody was. They held the whole town, or all the people that I knew was. And then somehow when I went off to prison or whatever and come back out, the ice had took over. And I guess it's still that way. Like I don't really know, but I know when I first got out, like at the foundry, there was some dudes that was still going out and using and stuff, and they was talking about it, and that's how I knew. Both of them, it just depended. I mean, depending on what was going on. Like when I got busted, New Hope got me, but they couldn't arrest me, or I mean, they couldn't carry me to jail until the county narcotics dude come out there and looked at the scene and did all that shit and whatever, and then they carried me on. So, but I had a buddy with me, Corey. He was in there with me, and man, I've never seen this in my life. but I was in one car, Corey was in the other, and the county narcotics dude, he was like, "Hey man, is your partner gonna get half of that when y'all get done?" And I was like, "No, man." I was like, "It's my house." I was like, "He just rolled up," and of course the New York cop, Big Dave, he was like, "No, they're friends, man. They do this shit all the time." And I was like, "Look, man, it's my house. The dude just rode up. It's my stuff." And the county narcotics dude walked over to the other cop car and got my buddy out, took the cuffs off, and let him go. And I was like, "Oh, damn! I've never seen." Usually everybody goes, but they let him go. All right, Rock. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Come back to the next one, man. I'll schedule it up and we'll do it again. Yeah, that's Stack Team. They Madison and Morgan. They all. I don't think it's as big as it used to be when it first started. It was multi-county, and then I think funding kind of messed that up. Now I think Stack Team's strictly Huntsville, Madison County, or Madison, Morgan County. What county was your prosecutor in, Blake? Yeah, they do that. I remember I used to buy when I would buy a box of pills, or somebody would get me a box or whatever, I'd pop the pills out and then give them the box back. That way they could, cause say they could scan them barcodes and shit. So I would always pop the pills out and then either burn the box or give it back to the people on the spot. Okay. Yeah, they'll do some petty stuff on that. Stacy, I know what you're talking about. Damn, that's some serious allegations. Let's see, Arkansas, Craighead County. That's in Georgia, ain't it? Oh, Arkansas. Oh, okay. My bad. I didn't see that AR. My bad. Um, yeah, that's some serious allegations, man. You got a paid lawyer, or you got court appointed? Yeah, I'd tell him. I'd say, man, get me the best deal possible. If you can beat it, get them to beat it. But if you can't beat it, get the best deal you can. I probably could have got a better deal, but to get a better, like I got a 10, I probably could have got a 5. But to get a 5, I would have had to lay up in the county jail for probably another year. And I didn't want to. I didn't like the county jail because you couldn't move around. It was so cramped and stuff. I was like, man, let me just go to prison and do my time. So I was just like, just give me a 10. They offered me a split, and I was just like, no, just give me a 10 and let's get it going. Let's get it on. And yeah, anything over 15 and up, no good time in Alabama. So, what's up, Dwayne Curry? How you doing, bro? Eden, North Carolina. Man, I'm gonna tell you what, North Carolina is one of the most beautiful states that there is. I mean, the prettiest mountains and stuff you ever seen, man. I love the Cherokee National Forest. Um, man, you know, I go back and forth. Like neither one of them for real. Don't get me wrong. I always fill out a bracket every year, and some like there's been years I picked North Carolina. Like a couple years ago, I picked North Carolina to win it all. I think they got beat first damn game, and then I think last year I had Duke to win it all. Um, uh, but yeah, I like both of them. Just depends on what the situation is. Yeah, there's drugs everywhere, man. It's Stacy. You ever been hiking up at Tim's Ford? They got some beautiful hiking trails up there. I found that place, and um they're actually they got hiking trails up in the woods too, but they've got like paved walking trails. You can walk for miles off in the woods on a damn paved trail, which is good. I mean, you know what I mean. But then again, you can walk up in the woods and walk all the way around the edge of the lake and stuff. It's beautiful up there, man. I just happened to find it one day. I was like, man, I'm gonna get out and go riding. And I'd always heard about Tim's Ford, but I'd never been there. So I rode up there, and man, and now I go up there in the summertime. I go up there a lot. Yeah, Bankhead's beautiful, man. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why, man. Alabama, y'all. I'm serious. You know what? I was sitting here today thinking, man, I need to run for office in uh 2030 or whatever. I mean, yeah, 2030. I need to run for office, man. We need to get people in office that'll get rid of these damn draconian laws and adapt to the times. I don't know why they don't just federally legalize it. Ain't nothing wrong with it, man. I mean, you got people that like to drink liquor and stuff. You got people that like to drink beer. You got people that like to smoke green. If you ain't got to like process it and make it or put chemicals together to make it, if it just grows out of the ground, what the hell's wrong with it? They didn't got no problem with tobacco, and it grows out of the ground, you know and it kills you. Weed don't even kill you. Tobacco does. Yeah, I had to go through that too. um I couldn't even leave. I had a girl pregnant. I couldn't even leave and go out of state and stuff. Um, yeah, Alabama just got rid of all that Delta 8 or THCA and all that. But then right up here down the road in Tennessee, now they can sell it. Um, it's crazy. I don't. And what's so bad? What's so messed up is they passed that law. They passed a hemp law or federal hemp law, cannabis law, whatever. And all these people in Alabama went and invested in these stores, these smoke shops. And no sooner than all these people bought all this stock, then the damn legislator voted to ban it. And it cost people, man, people lost everything they had. Um, let's see. Yeah, there's a bunch of big deer up there on the road it cuts over from Big Cove to Bailey Cove. Say it's just logging roads, man. Man, I need to hook up with some of y'all that live up in the mountains, man, and come. Man, I want to live in the mountains so bad. I'm talking about like up in the mountains. I don't even want to. Man, yeah, them logging roads is good to walk. I'll tell you something that y'all wouldn't believe this or not, but even around here, man, after it rains and the creeks rise up and then the water goes back down, if you'll go down to these creeks, man, you'll be amazed that you can find little speckles of gold and shit. I mean, just around here. But there's certain places like way up in Tennessee. I mean, you can find if you get out there, you gotta work to find it or whatever. But you can find gold, man, after it rains. Yeah, I feel you, Stacy. I'm like, man, listen, I want just a little cabin in the woods with a fireplace. I'll be straight. A little porch to sit on. Damn. Um. Yeah, them game wardens don't play. They'll lock you up for that. Yeah, it's been 2 hours, ain't it? Man, you get talking and you don't even realize it, and the time just blows by. This ain't no different than like being at a bar, sitting talking to people. You just now I ain't got to worry about like getting a DUI going home or something. You know what I mean? I ain't got to worry about no hangover in the morning. Um, I know they was I know he was a dude that he but they were in Butler's Mill and they got caught. He they shot a deer and the game warden got them, and they charged them like $60,000 in fines. It was crazy. Stephen, you live where I want to live, man. What's three, Robert? Say, Robert, you say you live up in Virginia? What's those dispensaries like up there, Robert? Do they? Um. Okay. 3 hour. I wonder how far it is from Alabama up to Virginia. I know now you can go from Alabama to Illinois, Metropolis, Illinois. It's just right across the state line from Kentucky, and they got a dispensary there. You can go up there, and there's a casino in Kentucky, and you can go over into Illinois to the dispensary, and then go back and stay at the casino. I ain't even never been in a dispensary. Now I've had dispensary, but I just haven't never been. And oh man, I'm going. I got a dinner to go to, family dinner. Man, do you ain't ever been in dispensary neither? Let's see, it's showing 2 hours and 9 minutes. That's a long time. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about something else. I don't even think I've ever. Yeah, I've been to Virginia. I've been to Norfolk. That ain't bad. Um, 20 miles from town. You just far enough away, but you just close enough too. Yeah, I don't know. I ain't ever, like I said, I ain't ever been in the dispensary. I know back, back years ago, I people would like go and come back, and I would smoke it or whatever, and it was um oh, I got you. What I got you on the time? Yeah, my bad. I couldn't. Yeah, I seen a documentary where they said that they having a problem with it going like losing its freshness or whatever. So um that may be why they give it away, but they say that a lot of times it's hard to keep it fresh or whatever after a certain amount of time. But you ain't from Franklin County, are you, Robert? The moonshine capital of the world. That's where old Henry Law and all of them from. That's where I'm gonna tell y'all what, one of the baddest movies ever about the Bondurant boys, Forrest Bondurant and them. That's the best movie I've ever seen. I think Godless. I mean, um, what was the name of that? Okay, so you close to Ohio and all that, Indiana, Ohio, whatever. What was the name of the movie with Tom Hardy played Forrest Bondurant and Shia LaBeouf played Jack Bondurant? True story about the moonshining back in during the Depression. Lawless, that's it. Man, that movie there. If you got any gangster in you, if you got any tough guy in you, that movie right there will have your ass wanting to. Man, you'll be wanting to. Woo! I'm talking about that movie will pump you up, man. I like that. I like that old dude Forrest, man. How he did. He didn't play like he was badass. Oh, I bet, man. They don't play. Hey, it ain't just North Carolina, dog. They don't play nowhere. Them game wardens is something serious. Tennessee just passed a law to where game wardens can't come on your property without permission anymore. Used to, game wardens could like what was happening if people in Tennessee would they might be out in their land, they might have 100 acres and they might be walking through their land and find a damn game camera and on the side of it's got a sticker state of Tennessee Fish and Wildlife. And what it was is the game wardens were watching them. So the people got mad about it, and then Tennessee passed a law, said, "All right, that's it. You can't go on a person's property anymore without their permission." Used to they could go anywhere they wanted in Tennessee, and then now they got to have your permission to be on there, which is good. I don't think anybody ought to be able to come on your land. Yeah, Franklin, North Carolina. I think I know where, but I know Franklin County, Virginia. That's they called it the moonshine capital of the world. Um, you had them gangsters from Chicago during the Depression that worked for Capone and them that was coming down there buying all that liquor. Al Capone, Johnny Torrio, and them, they'd send their dudes down there to Virginia to buy all that liquor and then haul it back. But yeah, Lawless is one of the baddest movies I've ever seen, for real. Well, man, y'all, I'm looking at the time here. I've been on here about 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's Thursday. I always do a live on Saturday, so y'all hold your thoughts, and then Saturday, same time, y'all. Let's see. Make sure. I know last week they had Halloween and shit. I don't think there's nothing going on this week. Let me see what time Bama plays. Let me see what time they play this week. All right, Alabama. Let's do it about. I'll get on here about 5 o'clock on Saturday. Y'all, if y'all can make it around 5, I'll jump on here, and yeah, we'll do it again. Oh man, you missed it, Mahogany. I've been on here 2 hours. That's all right. Hey, listen, I'm gonna be back Saturday. We'll be back at 5 p.m. Saturday. I don't know if that's a good time for everybody or what, but um, that'll give me time to talk to y'all and bullshit, and then I can still catch the Bama game. But man, I appreciate all y'all for real. Stacy, Mahogany, Amanda, Dwayne, Timmy, Crew, all y'all rock. I don't want to miss nobody, man. Y'all, all Stephen Cope, Dwayne, man. Listen, I appreciate Jonathan Carpenter, all of y'all. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry, man. But yeah, man, I enjoy this, man. I enjoy talking to y'all, and Blake, you too, brother. I appreciate it, and I'll get back on here Saturday. We'll talk some more about them dispensaries and stuff, and who um we'll just kind of pick up where we left off if y'all want to. But listen, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all on the 2,000 subscribers, man. That means a lot. For real. I'm just an old regular ass dude, man, and I didn't even have no idea that this would turn out like this, and it's working, So, but all right, well, I'll see y'all on Saturday, and until then, y'all be good, stay safe, and I'll talk to y'all then. All right, y'all.